Hello and thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Hey everyone, wild day in the market. Going to be looking at things from a little bit of a different perspective here on TradingView because it allows for easier time frame switching back and forth. But what we're looking at is the confirmation of this bear flag that we highlighted in the video yesterday. So on the hourly time frame yesterday, we were saying for SPY that we need to be watching for the potential break of the higher low. If 287.03 breaks, the bears are right back in control. We broke that pre-market, and then we broke both other supports, and then it was just an absolute free fall from there. And the free fall is continuing after hours. So this is a scenario where if we're going to see weakness this significantly on SPY, it means both the tech sector and the financial sector are in all-out dumps. This is one of the most red days that I can remember. It reminds us of back in February. So we can go back and compare to February, where we had a 2-week all-out dump. It was more significant back then, the drop. We had a drop from 286 to 252. So pretty much a $33 drop. And here at this point, we're only seeing, not even a $20 drop. And it's even less of a percentage because the price is higher. So just keep in mind that February was more brutal than what we're currently seeing right now. But if we look at some of the shorter term time frames, the 4-hour RSI, and we say, all right, what was the 4-hour RSI back in February? How far did it dip? And you can see it dipped way lower than this. So keep in mind that while things seem extreme, they can get worse. So just be aware of that and always honor your stop losses in a scenario like this. I personally am going to be looking to start buying the dip tomorrow if we see a gap down open. And that's just due to the lack of any relief on this hourly time frame. And if we go back to February and look at the hourly time frame, look at all those numbers. So we go back to February and look at the hourly time frame, the lowest the RSI got was about 11.5. So getting down towards those levels, the hourly RSI right now is down at about 15 or so. So that's why if we see the gap down open, that's why I'm interested in buying tomorrow. That being said, what I did today is I looked at the 5-minute time frame, and I was actually traveling today, so not a good day to be traveling, but I was watching this choppy action on the 5-minute, and I said, okay, this is not clear. I need to find a time frame where things are clear and where we're not getting fake outs. So I looked at the 15-minute and I said, all right, as long as the 15-minute is forming lower highs, I'm not doing anything but scalping short-term bounces, which I did a couple of times with SPXL, which is the leveraged ETF for SPY. But that kept me from looking bullish. And so once we change this 15-minute trend, the hourly oversold bounce will be underway, in my opinion. So patiently waiting for that to be the case. And tomorrow morning, that's what I'm going to be watching for first thing. So continued weakness here after hours, potential for the gap down open, and extreme oversold conditions on some of these shorter term time frames, huge bear volume, and all out bear control. We gave back in just 6 days. We have given back multiple months of upside moves. Where are supports from here? 276.52, and the next support level that we're looking at is a gap fill. So let's see if this gap fill ends up being a potential target for us to be watching. But 276.52, and then the gap fill is 275.84. So those are the potential 2 levels to be watching into tomorrow, and we would have to see, again, significant further weakness to get down to those levels without seeing any kind of relief bounce. IWM has been leading the way to the downside. We're dumping on the weekly time frame now 2 weeks in a row, losing all kinds of support levels. 151.71 is the next support level from here, and then we're looking at 147.18. So bears in control overall is the bottom line. And same thing, we need to find a time frame where the trend is very clear and there's no fake outs. So we did have a 15-minute lower high pattern break, but we never saw the higher low and higher high confirmation. So the 15 minutes a good guide for today, keeping the bears in full control. The hourly RSI at this point is just getting down under 20. We're not as oversold short term as SPY because we did see some smaller, or I should say some more significant little bounces on the way down. But that 4-hour RSI is absolutely crushed, and we'll be watching for oversold bounce setups into tomorrow. QQQ, free fall, same setup, loss of the hourly higher low pattern. Again, go back and watch the video from yesterday if you did not, And it's a good review, even if you did watch it, where it's very clear we lost the hourly higher low of 178.93. That was telling us the bears still had momentum, and they followed through and confirmed the bear flags. Hourly RSI here is 13. So again, if we gap down open, that hourly RSI is going to be close to single digits. 4-hour RSI is about to be down into the teens. And the weekly chart to find some supports from here, there's really nothing close nearby. I'm looking at 169.67 as the next support level. And I don't think we're going to bounce based off of support. I believe that we are going to see a bounce based off of price action and, just a shift in momentum. I don't think we're going to hit a support and then have that be a signal. So keep that in mind when things get this volatile. Support and resistance levels not as important as watching short-term trends and watching for changes of those trends. Financial sector, we had that 4-day range where it wasn't really a factor in what the market was doing. We had the all-out dump today and obviously very significant follow-through. This weekly chart now, again, lack of support in this area because of the bull move that we saw on the way up. So to find the next support level for XLF, you need to go to the daily chart and zoom out. And we're looking down at 2670 is the next support level that is clear. So again, a lack of support nearby and all bears in full control. Hourly RSI at this point down at 20, 4-hour RSI down at 30, not even that oversold. So XLF is probably the least oversold of all the names that we've looked at because it was able to trade sideways the 4 days before today. VIX, huge bull move, obviously. So big time profit and big time opportunity for TVIX and UVXY. And I highlighted a couple of weeks ago the Bollinger Bands on the weekly time frame. And I did not act on this, but you better believe in the future I will, where the tightening Bollinger Bands have signaled both market dumps now, and both this year, I should say. So the Bollinger Bands got really tight. We had a 2-week huge move. Bollinger Bands got really tight, and here's our 2-week move. It's not nearly as significant, but it's not done yet either. So we might be looking for a bit more tomorrow. But again, things are getting overextended. If I were in one of these positions, I would definitely be walking up stop levels and I would be looking to lock in profit. And there's also the strategy of entering UVXY or TVIX puts, which a lot of traders do as an ATM machine. Don't forget that TVIX and UVXY have built-in time decay, and that combined with the fact that the market is overall in a bullish uptrend, even though we saw this huge dump on SPY, it's still not enough to change the fact that we are in a bull market. If we drop, 15, 20%, that will start to change things. Here's the monthly chart. There's the last dump, and it's still a higher low compared to that last dump. So until we set lower highs and lower lows on the monthly time frame, we got a monthly uptrend intact. So my point being, entering TVIX and UVXY puts on these huge moves with time decay built in, further out expiration, is something that a lot of traders do to capitalize on the fact that these volatile spikes usually don't last more than a couple of weeks. So keep that in mind, that you can be looking in the other direction as well. And rather than looking to buy the dips, or I should say, in addition to looking to buy some of the dips, you can be looking to short TVIX and UVXY with puts. So that's where we head into tomorrow. Still all bear momentum, still no sign of a bounce at this point, but you better believe if these hourly RSI levels get single digits, I will be looking to establish bounces. And my strategy, again, I talked about the strategy of waiting for the 15-minute trend to change, and that's being more cautious. That's less risk and less reward. But my strategy is to find setups that allow for oversold bounce entries, perhaps a move where the 5-minute time frame is very extended. I make an entry, and as soon as I get enough upside to be slightly profitable, I set my stop loss to break even. That way I get stopped out at break even. It's no big deal, but I have the potential to nail the bottom and see significant gains to the upside. So that's going to be my strategy into tomorrow. If we don't get the gap down open, my strategy will change. But if we get the gap down open, I will be looking to enter bullish positions, place stop levels, but hope that those don't trigger and I do nail the bottom on one of those moves. And I'll also start to look at some longer term TVIX and UVXY puts if we get a gap up open in those instruments. So hopefully people weren't overexposed and hit too hard here. Stop losses is always a good way to go. And we will see what tomorrow brings. Tons of trading action out there. Gotta love it as a day trader or any kind of trader. See you soon.